Ha ha! Yes! We have finally reached baseball, even though it's too early for it. I'm sorry, but Sweet 16, the Islanders are still in the playoff hunt. Yes, I'm going to be saying it right now. I'm really hoping the Brooklyn Nets do make the playoffs, and, it's too much. It's just too much. I mean, anyhow, baseball is here, folks. Opening day, March 28th. We've made it through another brutal winter. Spring is here. Uh, the Yankees are going to have 70-degree weather to play it on Saturday for their second game of the season. So whoever's going to the game Saturday should just be thankful. They're going to get treated for a nice May surprise. But anyhow, yes, we made it to the start of the 2018 season. Well, 2019 season, my bad. I mean, I'm so used to saying 18 because I'm so upset about Boston still winning it all last year. But it's a new season. Maybe the Yankees can turn it around. I don't know. So that being all said, we're going to get started with my predictions. So let me see if I can get to the Yankees first. Here we go. Yes, so for the safe pick, I'm going to go with the Yankees winning the American League East. They will win the division between, I would say, 97 to 100 in something games. If everything plays itself out, we got to hope that things will definitely make a big shape here. So obviously, on paper right now, with the Yankees rotation, you have Masahiro Tanaka, James Paxton, Jay Happ, Luis Sessa, and Domingo Germán. Now, Sessa's in this line, in this rotation, because we don't know when Sevy's going to come back. I took a brief pause there because I'm literally wondering what's going on here. CC Sabathia is suspended. I don't remember the reason why he's suspended at the moment, but I will mention that also on the DL, we have Dylan Betances, Aaron Hicks, and Didi. So with the lineup, we got Gardner, Judge, Stanton, Voit, Andujar, Sanchez, Bird, Tulo, which, by the way, Tulo's been having a good spring. I'll bring him up. Tulowitzki's been having a tremendous spring. Then you got Glaber. Now, on paper, it looks decent. They look like a good team. We have DJ Littlemahu from the minors. Romine's our backup catcher. And then we have another minor leaguer in the outfield, Mike Trutchman. So I can't really make out the name. I'm not going to go in depth with the teams that much unless the Yankees and the Mets, because when I get to the NL East, I'll discuss why I don't think the Mets are even going to make the playoffs again, because the Mets are still rebuilding. That's all I'm going to say. But anyhow, here's what could happen. The Yankees right now can make the playoffs if we get healthy. Severino needs to come back, and he needs to be around, plain simple. And hopefully, I'm hoping when he comes back that he'll be the same. I'm hoping he'll be the same. And of course, the bullpen. It's bullpen stacked. We got Chappie. Chappie's still going to be our closer. Artatavio, he's a middle reliever. Britton, Green, Holder, Kaylee. I don't know about Topley. I don't know. I mean, his whip is good. His ERA is 3, so the only problem is we don't have Betances. But even if we get Betances back, they're going to be stacked. They're going to be completely stacked. And maybe this is the year Bird finally is that big bat we were hoping for. Because it just depends. Can there be consistency? Yes, I think there can be. But let's say they don't make the playoffs. What if Sanchez can't hit? That's one problem. And then the other problem is, I'll turn off my Wi-Fi. I do apologize, everyone. Should have turned it off earlier, but forgot to do that. We'll get to the Astros in just a second. So I want to get to the Astros because it's important we get to them because they're going to be the second or third best team in the league. And we'll get to that in just a second, but I wouldn't know. I mean, they're stacked. They shouldn't miss the playoffs. The only reason why I think they miss the playoffs is if the injuries get bad. The injuries are bad. They're not making the playoffs. If they can get healthy, they're capable of winning the American League East or at least getting the first wild card, like last season. They got to win the division. They're just too stacked. They have to win this division. If they don't, something is wrong if they're going to let Boston run away with it again like they did last year. I want it to be close. I really hope they do. We'll get to those nasty guys from Boston in just a second, but let's get to the Astros. Astros, again, they're going to be stacked. You have Springer, Bregman, Altuve, Correa, Michael Brantley. He's an addition. Gael, Reddick, Wade. I'm not too sure about their catcher, but he's just there for show. Robinson Chernos. So you got Verlander, Cole, Miley, McHugh, Peacock. Pretty good lineup. Pretty good lotation right there. Yeah, and then, what's going to happen? They're going to win the division. I'm going to say right now, Astros at least will win at most probably around 96, 98 games. Maybe they can even win 100 if, the American League's weak. All right, the American League is weak. You can easily win 100 games if you're the Astros or the Yankees or the Red Sox. There's no question about that. So now we'll get to the Cleveland Indians. And oh boy, this may be their last chance to make the playoffs for a while because I think the Twins are going to be that long-standing team in the long run, I think. But anyhow, Indians, you got Lindor, Kipnis, Ramirez, Santana, Hanley, Jake Bowers. I don't know about him. I mean, you go after Hanley, the lineup looks bad other than Roberto Perez, who I think is one of the best catchers right now. You still got a decent rotation with Kluber, Bauer, Carrasco, Clevenger, Shane Bieber. I'm not sure about that fifth starter role, but the four starters that Cleveland has, it should get them to about 90 wins, 91, 92, because the Twins are going to be in their way. And I'll get to the Twins in just a second. But, yeah, Cleveland should be around. If the Indians are not around, something's just off. Cleveland's going to definitely have a rotation that's decent. And remember, they're in a bad division. So the Royals stink. White Sox stink. Tigers stink. They're going to be the worst team in the league, in my opinion. Next to the Orioles, they're going to be literally second to worst at this point. So the Indians should definitely be able to take advantage. I would not be surprised if the Twins even win the division. I'll get to the Twins in just a second. It could be Cleveland. It could be Minnesota. We're gonna have to watch how the Central plays out because it could be Minnesota that gets there a year early because they're supposed to win a division next year or the year after. Yeah, I think next year would be reasonable. So let's get to the Boston Red Sox. Get to them right now. So with the Red Sox, you have to look at it from a different perspective. I do apologize. I'm trying to look through my paper for the teams I got. So, Boston still has a good lineup. Benintendi, Betts, Devers, Martinez, Bogarts, Moreland, Holt, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Christian Vasquez. Vasquez can get on base. He's a decent catcher, but, But here's the thing. You got Sale, the ace, Price, Porcello, Evaldi, the fifth starter, Eduardo Rodriguez. I don't know, but again, you have four good quality pitchers. Boston's definitely capable, again, of repeating and winning the division again. But I would hope that the Yankees would maybe do something here. Alright? And another thing I gotta bring up is, DC Sabathia for the Yankees. Is he gonna come back? I don't know. I'll quickly mention that. I would hope the Yankees can still win this division. So just for the heck of it, Yankees win the division. Boston gets the first wild card. Second wild card is going to be the Twins. And I go with Minnesota here. Because the Twins definitely have a lineup that's decent. You have Jorge Polanco, Max Kepler, Nelson Cruz, the DH, Eddie Rosario. They have a first baseman from the minors, CJ Cron, his name is, Marwin Gonzalez, Jonathan Scope, Jason Castro in center and catching, and Brian Braxton. Pitching is okay. Jorge Breros, Kyle Gibson, Michael Pineda, Odorizzi, and then Martin Perez. So, I don't know. They look decent. I heard that bullpen's pretty good. So, as I said, it could be Minnesota. It could be Cleveland. Both are worthy of making the playoffs. Now, I quickly want to mention, as far as the Athletics are concerned, last year's second wild card team. Listen, I think the A's were lucky last year. They caught lightning in a bottle. No offense to them, but they're not going anywhere. I'm sorry. They'll get lucky if they even finish above 500. They don't have the same lineup as last year. I'm sorry. They're not going to make the playoffs. I'd be very surprised if the Athletics even get back in the playoffs again. So we'll end the American League discussion. Now we'll move on to the National League. And before I get to the Phillies, I want to mention something about the Mets here. Okay? The Mets could surprise people. You never can count the Mets out. But let's keep in mind here. The Mets have Nimmo, McNeil, Cano, Conforto, Ramos, Alonso, Rosario, and Laguerre. That's not a bad lineup. Dominic Smith, JT Davis, Kean Broxton. I don't know. But you got Jacob deGrom. You got Noah Syndergaard, Zach Wheeler, Steven Matz. The only problem is Jason Vargas can be trash. He is like a toilet bowl. That's all I'm going to say about him. Maybe he'll bounce back, but that's the problem. The fifth starter stinks for the Mets. They only have good... They stay healthy, they have a chance. But only problem is you got Cespedes, who may not even return until late in the season. Frazier, we don't even know when he's coming back. Lowry looked good in spring training until he got hurt, and then don't know. So it's like, if you had Darno and you had Ramos switching the catching spot every day, then they look decent on paper. But the problem is, you're only going to make the playoffs if your bullpen is healthy. You got Diaz, Familia, Wilson, Lugo. I'm sorry, Lugo should be the fifth starter. Why is Callaway putting Vargas... Why? Because Vargas looked decent? Lugo didn't deserve to make the final cut? I'm telling you right now, I would not be surprised if Seth Lugo even gets a starting role here. But, yeah, they have to deal with the Nationals and the Phillies. They have good pitching. I think the Nationals crash again. I'll go to the Phillies right now. We'll get to Philadelphia. And with the Phillies, we know about Harper. But they can surprise people. They almost surprised us last season. The pitching is decent. Nola, Arrieta, Pivetta, Eflin, and Velasquez, they're decent. Now, with the Nationals, again, the pitching is okay. Scherzer, Strasburg, within Corbin, Sanchez, and Hellickson. I don't know. So it's like, it's crazy to not rule out the Phillies winning the division. I would say Philadelphia is capable of winning 90 games, but that's going to be a little bit too much to ask for them. But I'm going to say for a safe bet, Philadelphia wins just because they have Harper. Now, we're not going with the Cubs, folks. I do apologize. That was disorganized in the shuffle. So, Central right now, I'm going with the Brewers. Milwaukee, I think this is their time. I think this is their only shot to make it to the World Series. And I'll get to my World Series matchup in just a second, what I would like to see. But pretty much the same lineup as last year. They're keeping the same people. You got Kane, Yelich, Braun, Straw, Aguilar, Grandal. Grandal can hit. He can hit. We saw what he did last year in the playoffs. The Moose, Moustakas, and then Arcia. And then Johnson still around. Woodruff, Burns, Peralta, and then Davis. They're decent. They're decent, folks. Never count the Brewers out. They're definitely going to make the playoffs. Hopefully the bullpen doesn't collapse. Brewers are definitely capable of winning 90-plus games, but here's the problem. I'm going to get to the Cubs in just a second. Now, I'm not impressed by the Cardinals lineup. What does the Cardinals have to offer? Goldschmidt? Yeah, they don't have pitching. They don't have a bullpen. Cardinals are not making the playoffs. See, the reason why I think the Cubs still have a chance is because the Cubs still keep their core around. The Cubs are still going to make the playoffs. They'll be the first wild card. But let's get to the Rockies here for a second. I'll get to my second wild card, and then we'll talk about the Dodgers. The Rockies still have their main core. And they have a good lineup. Blackman, Renato, Murphy, Desmond. Alright, there's a couple good bats there. Bettis is still around. Freeland. They have a chance. Their bullpen can get back on track. They're definitely capable of, again, making the playoffs again. But it's going to depend on, once again, the bullpen. The bullpen needs to be rebuilt. The bullpen looks okay. But they get healthy, and John Gray can get back on track. Because Gray needs to at least eat innings and not give up as many runs as he did. Then he has a chance. So we'll get to the Dodgers. Now, obviously, Kershaw. And sorry, folks, if you think that I'm crazy to say this, I'm still right for saying this. Kershaw, hands down, is still the best pitcher in baseball right now. You have Bueller, Hill, Ryu. The fifth starter I'm not impressed with, but even without Machado, and I'm sorry, but the Dodgers made a stupid move letting Machado leave. The Dodgers should have threw money at Machado. Why? This is what I don't get. The Dodgers had the money. Why couldn't they re-sign Machado? If Manny had stayed in LA, the Dodgers would definitely be in the conversation of going back to the World Series. Again. But I don't know. I mean, I want to see a rematch of the NLCS. I want to see the Brewers get their time. But, it'll all play out. But Brewers are going to win 90 plus. Dodgers are going to win 90 plus. Dodgers could at least win 94, 95. I think the Dodgers are, the way that things are shaped up in the National League, I think overall the team that could have the most wins, maybe the Phillies. Let me think. Philadelphia can get 90 plus. I don't know. So let's say LA gets the first crack at the best record in the National League. So we'll just say Dodgers for the heck of it. Make it as a safe bet. So Dodgers have the best record in the National League. We'll put that there, just because again the pitching's definitely there for them, and not for the pitching, then why aren't you watching the Dodgers? Because the Dodgers have incredible pitching. You want to see the four best pitchers in the Dodgers pitch every night. So, I'm going to go with Brewers versus Yankees in the World Series. And the reason why I say that is because Milwaukee and the Yankees have pretty much good of a lineup. Now, I want to see the Dodgers play the Yankees. But I think, if everything plays itself out, the Yankees can definitely play the Brewers. I wouldn't rule it out. So, this is my early World Series prediction. And yes, if it's the Dodgers, I'd be happy to, but hey, guy can dream, right? But folks, I'm still going to be realistic about the Yankees. I'm a fan looking at it from a perspective where, again, they're more than capable of winning the division. I won't be disappointed again if they don't win the division. They make the playoffs fine, but they got to make it to the DS again. But what's going to happen if there's more disappointment and they become a locale again? I'm very worried. And this is my fear of the Yankees this year, is that, again, they got to make it to the ALCS. And if they don't make it to the ALCS, none of the successful year. I'll just be happy if they win the American League pennant. They're capable of winning the American League pennant. But I don't want to see another first round loss again. I would literally have to go through the cycle of Groundhog Day where Bill Murray is going through the agony of repeat, because literally that's how I feel as a Yankee fan. And I'll recap the decade just to prove a point before I end this video. Is that 2010, 2012, 2017, the only 3 times. Am I correct? I get 2012. Yeah, we lost in the first round in 2011, if I'm correct. No. 2011? I don't remember at the moment. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if I look it up, the 2011 ALCS. But, again, 2010, we lost to the Rangers. Just want to confirm at the moment. I'm pretty sure. I think it was 2011 when Jeter got hurt. I'm trying to prove a point. Is that this decade has been unfair to the Yankees. And right now I remember we lost the first round to the Tigers. Now I remember. Yeah, we lost to Detroit. Now I remember. Unfortunately, now I remember now. Right, so again, 2010, 2012, 2017, ALCS we lost. 2011, lost to the... Right, I remember. We lost to the Tigers. Now I remember. Right, we lost to the Tigers. Still remember that series. It's a very bad memory, folks. And I remember 2012 when we got swept. 2017, we got lightning in a bottle when we played at home. And we were supposed to be rebuilding that year. I still remember that. 18, we lost in the ALDS. 15, we lost the AL wildcard game to the Astros. So again, it proves my point. Maybe this is the year where the Yankees finally get it over with. And it's been 10 years since the Yankees last won the World Series. And I remember being in this exact same room in 2009, listening to John Sterling saying ground to second, Cano grabs it, goes it to Teixeira, in time, ball game over, World Series over, Yankees win, the Yankees win, literally. Literally, I still remember that. I still remember that to this day, when we won the 2009 World Series. I still remember being that 13-year-old kid waiting for that moment. I'm 23 right now. I want to see the Yankees make it to the World Series. Again, I'm not asking to win it all. I'm just asking to go to the World Series. That's all I'm asking. Win the 41st pennant in the franchise. That's all I'm asking for. I want to see another World Series appearance. I'm not being greedy. Listen, I know I've gone on too long, but I would just be grateful as a fan if they were in the World Series every year. That's a big accomplishment. You know, baseball's changed, folks. Baseball has changed. The Texas Rangers were close. Literally, if you look at the teams that have won the World Series in this decade, the Giants winning it 3 times, 10, 12, 14. The Cardinals lining in a bottle team I call from 2011 when they came back to win the old wild card system. 13 we don't need to get into because, you know, the city of Boston deserved it after the bombing. 15, you know, who would think the Royals would play the Mets? Nobody thought that. 16, right, who won in 16? I don't remember at the moment. Maybe if I got like a little refresh in my brain. That is a good question. Who won in 16? Right, 16 was when the Cubs ended the curse. Now I remember. Right. Cleveland was close to breaking their curse, and then the Indians tanked and blew the lead. Right, and then 17 was the Astros, and then again, I don't want to think about Boston. So, proves my point. So, I've gone on too much. I think in the description I'm going to have to warn people. I give my predictions and then recap the decade in baseball. So, I mean, it's being fair. I mean, this is the last year of the decade, and I don't want to do it again. So, might as well get it over with in this video. So, thank you all for watching. Hey, maybe your team that's not favored to win could turn around. They get lucky. I don't know. It's a fresh slate for everyone. That being all said, thank you all for watching. Until the next one, please take care.